Today marks the final installment in the Living Magic of Kaimere series. As these videos do build upon each other, I encourage you to check out parts 1 through 3 leading up to this, if you have not already done so, to get that spicy context. I've had so much fun working on this series. I hope you've all enjoyed it so far. Without further ado, let's talk witchcraft. It is believed by scholars of both Earth and Kaimere that the first witches came to be when a particularly volatile hive of viral magic came into contact with a community of Kaimerans with hereditary magic of their own. Others think it more likely that they were a creation of the first children. Whatever the origins, they were once very common in Kaimere, but like the skin changer that we talked about a few days ago, witches are now rare. 7,000 years ago, Kaimere was ruled by witch lords, beings with powerful hives of endemic Kaimeran life. Many nations of Kaimere can trace their noble ancestry or societal formation to one of these potent magical beings. Most noble families of the Protagonists clans are descended from witches, with the notable exception of the Panther clans descended from skin changers. For reasons unknown, the age of witches came to a conclusion. Some say it was war between them as their power and influence grew. Conflict was inevitable. The devastation was felt throughout the known world. Others say a terrible disease spread throughout the known world, which was an infection not of the body, but of magic. All Kaimerans have some hereditary magic in them, which accounts for their slow aging, but these potent strains were hit the hardest. Whatever the reason, most powerful witches were slain, followed by a 2,000-year dark age of chaos and scattered influence. During this period, most surviving witches were hunted down by Kaimeran witch hunters like the Asnareth, fearing the supernatural beings' return to oppressive rule. A few witches remain, some even said to have been alive since this conflict, but most are much younger. Many aren't any older than any of their people. Some are as much as 2,000 years old, ancient even by Kaimeran standards, but precious few are old enough to remember a time when witches were monarchs. Although most contemporary witches in Kaimere have a fraction of the power once held by the casters, some are extremely powerful. In fairly recent history, around 5 centuries ago, the Chakati Empire was said to have been established by the most powerful pyromancer ever known, a prophet and a great sun god among mortals. Her explosive abilities hint at the sort of power held by the witch lords before her, back when she would have been just one among many. Another great mystery of witchcraft is how it reached Earth. Like the skin changers, members of the Assembly believe witches came to Earth long before the Mercantile Age, when merchants of the Free States traded with the peoples of the Mediterranean and Americas some 3,000 years ago. It was almost certainly connected to the first children, either intentionally or by accident, as their manipulation of the portal to enable travel to and from Earth brought many endemic Kaimeran hives to Earth. Whatever the reason, beings with hereditary and infected witchcraft can be found throughout Earth's human populations. Over the years, many lineages of Earth witches faded. There does not appear to have been an age in which witches ruled on Earth as they did on Kaimere. Kaimeran scholars think that human witches simply don't have the same potential because of their shorter lives and lack of hereditary magic found in all Kaimerans, although plenty of powerful witches have come from humans on Earth, so this theory is likely the product of bias over reality. There are more expressions of witchcraft than I could possibly list in a digestible video. Typically, witches will train their magic for certain tasks, specializing themselves. This is not to say that a witch specialized in generating electricity couldn't learn to lift objects or grow plants, but training their magic for certain things means the magic that excels in that task reproduces more in the host. So a sort of natural selection occurs that craft, spell, or potent ability becomes their specialty. Using powerful expressions of magic often kills some of the hive, and after exerting themselves, witches need to recuperate before they can cast again. With practice, witches have feats of magic called spells which come quite readily to them and require little effort. These spells usually don't kill the magic, so can be performed with greater frequency, although the process can still be tiring. One of the most common spells involves the witch putting some of their magic into another organism or an object. Usually this ability is used to create a wand or familiar with a regular sharing of their magic. This way they have a reserve of their hive, an amplifier, or a companion that works with them through a shared bond. This ability can be more aggressive. Sometimes this allows their magic to surveil, control, or hinder a person that they have shared their magic with. These hexes can even kill. In particularly powerful witches, enchanted artifacts can be created by infusing them with especially potent hives, and witches can control entire armies that will continue fighting after death, with magic supplementing the necessary functions to carry on. Beings of this power are probably extinct, but witch hunters are ever vigilant for their possible return, fearing the potential devastation such individuals are capable of. A similar process goes into witchcraft, and a bit of their magic is employed in potions. To help a patient, a healing witch might imbue their magic in some sort of drink as a conduit, and once their magic is inside, they can better understand what they are up against and how they can best treat their patient. For healing magic and potions to be employed, the patient typically has to be introduced to the magic in a safe context first, or their body will fight it off like an infection or an allergic reaction. Witches specialized in healing in similar crafts are among the most common and accepted, although they are often still mistrusted by many Kaimerans, given how potions were a way that the witch lords often controlled their subjects. Faith Dunievsky in Truthseeker has her initial affinity for generating and redirecting electricity, although down the road she will explore other abilities in her quest to understand this phenomenon that she refuses to accept as supernatural. In Lost in the Woods, we encounter two human witches, one specialized in healing magic and the other in growing and cultivating plants. Later stories in Kaimere, both the Lost Hellfighter and future novels, introduce us to witches with such specializations as potion making, flight, using classic elements like water and earth as conduits for their magic, and even those who use the fundamentals of healing magic to sicken and kill. In the known world, magic is a known phenomenon, but many Kaimerans will go their whole lives having never encountered a witch, skin changer, or any other magical creatures I've discussed this past week. This results in a great deal of superstition and misunderstanding about the rules and origins of magic, which is often viewed as a great and terrible supernatural presence lurking among the titanic beasts in the shadows beyond the known world. The Asnareth, witch hunters from Kajar, are technically witches themselves who have bonded with an enchanted weapon that they use to enhance their bodies to perform superhuman feats of strength, endurance, and speed, attributes that enable them to best the witches, skin changers, and demons that they seek to purge from the known world. As magic is endemic to Kaimere, witches and other magical beings have a unique connection to this strange world. Although viewed as supernatural by most people on Earth and Kaimere, magical beings are quite grounded in both worlds. The connection that they share with magic is a special bond between Earth and Kaimere. There are several characters in my short story anthology, Tales of Kaimere, who are witches, skin changers, magical beasts, and homunculi, as are those that you will meet in The Lost Hellfighter, the novel that I'm in the second draft of as we speak. I'm super excited about this project. A novel set in Kaimere has been a long-standing dream of mine. I hope that this series has been of some interest, both in answering some questions and prompting some more. Please leave queries that you have in the comments below, and if you like stories with witches and dinosaurs, please do consider ordering Tales of Kaimere to your local bookstore. Small and local businesses are super important to support this holiday season. Next month we will be going over the Megaraptorans, apex predators of the known world. I'm very excited to finally give them the spotlight. That's all for now, folks. Happy Halloween, and stay spooky.